Yeah, so for a very long time I've always identified as sexually fluid, but it's only within the last maybe year and a half that I've really embraced my bisexual identity. So coming out as bisexual was really important to me for the visibility factor, but just the fact that I've always been sexually fluid, I think it was sort of an interesting factor because obviously I feel like that kind of like opens up more opportunities for different partners and things like that, you know, I guess that was kind of a way that my husband and I conversed or whatever. But also I'm a fetishist. So I'm very much so, like, I have one target fetish, and that's tethered to my orgasm. And that's how I orgasm, and that's it. So I identify as a fetishist, but my sexuality is much more diverse than that. I consider myself kinky because I like all sorts of different things. I'm sexually fluid because I can become aroused by a range of different things. But for whatever reason, I have a target fetish. And so untangling, that was really difficult for me for a really long time. But now I've embraced it. So I think, yeah, the BDSM community and being bisexual and things like that, these were all things that sort of reflected this idea that, you know, like, maybe one person can't really provide all of that for me. And, you know, my husband, who is absolutely wonderful but very vanilla, also is very curious, you know, sexually and adventurous and things like that. So I don't like saying, like, well, I'm bisexual, so that's a reason for me to be, you know, in an open relationship. But he's straight and pretty vanilla, but he also is very curious and just wanting to experience these things in his life. So I feel like we have a really good balance in our identities, that we can respect each other and we can explore having ethically non-monogamous relationships with other people for, you know, these reasons that do tie into our identities. So
cool. Yeah. Any other identities you want to talk about before we go on to the next question?
Well, I'm also I'm disabled, so that's obviously played into a huge part of understanding my body and my sexuality when you can't feel over half of your body. And I wear leg braces, and I catheterize out of an ileostomy in my abdomen. So these are all things that for like a really long time I felt super undesirable as a person. And so I think it's just kind of hilarious now that I went through so many years of my life thinking I will never find anybody to love me, and yet now I'm giving and receiving love with multiple people, and that's a wonderful thing. So, and that they're accepting of my body and willing to learn with me, and you know, it's not just about my experience in my body, but they're learning stuff too, and they're learning stuff about their body and desires, and that's so cool, and I love it. So yeah, the disability is pretty cool.